Started in Winkler, Manitoba, but I'm now in Lethbridge, Alberta. So
And how give people context if they don't know, like how big is this town, Lethbridge? How many people's there, or how far is it from the big city like Calgary or something like that?
we're about 2 hours south of Calgary. Lethbridge is about 100,000 people. But when I first started, it was like 7,000 people in Winkler, Manitoba. But today I'm in a town called Two Hills, which is like about 1,000 people there. So we just had a big home BPM here last night.
Okay, just to give context, right? Like I don't know anyone. What if you know everybody in the whole town because it's only 1,000 people?
We could
Okay.
love them.
So Tina, I would say probably I don't when you've been struggling for a while, honestly speaking, right? I don't remember exactly when you started to pick up momentum. When would you say you were struggling until when?
I started in 2011 and it was a grind learning English, the vocabulary, entrepreneurship. I had zero business background. And so in 2018, I went to a small convention just in our own with our SCVC. And I think it was Hong Mai. He spoke at that meeting and he's like, yeah, what are you doing here? And I'm like, yeah, good question. What am I doing here? I don't know. Like it never hit me, right? It never hit me that bad. And he's like, are you lying to yourself going every day? You told your family you're gonna go build a big business, but yet you're not actually acting on it. And I went home with that in 2018 and I'm like, we gotta go to work. And that's when we started, like, we weren't even doing 2-3 meetings a week, honestly. It's a shame. And we're like, we got to get to 10 plus meetings a week. And it was tough. It was a grind. And then we stretched and eventually we got a little bit more and a little bit more. And then we crossed 100K very quickly within 3 months after that when we decided to go to work.
Wow. So maybe give people some background since you said you're not entrepreneur mindset. What did you do before WFG?
I was a social worker. I helped people with disabilities. I did work that RNs did, but with below minimum wage. I was getting 11 something an hour in Manitoba, making $1,200. That would be if I would have worked overtime yet. I would play the game Peter pays Paul. One credit card pays the other credit card. And my only dream was, I grew up in a Mennonite background where a woman, their only lot in life is basically you're going to you get married and have kids and that's all you do is you run a household, right? But then coming to Canada, it was like such a culture shock that I could become somebody. And my only goal was to hopefully find somebody rich to marry. And my husband is a saver, but he definitely was not a millionaire. So you had to go do something different.
I believe you also have you have a big family, right? How many kids do you have, Tina?
I personally only have 2.
Okay.
But my brother comes from a family of 8 boys, just boys, and they were hauled across the country, not knowing where to live. Sometimes they lived in containers, like shipping containers. Next time tarps. Next time they would have like a little straw hut where they would live underneath it, and that's. But I come from a family of just three girls from in Bolivia. I came from South America.
Oh wow. Okay. So so you're from this small town, and talk to us about what everybody. I don't know. Struggle is not the right word, but everybody. What the one thing that everybody create their own challenge is I don't have people to talk to, I don't have the activity, right? Which sounds like you were even struggling with that as well. And could you share with us what are some tangible things you did that you can share to build that, prospect list of yours and to go from not even 2 or 3 appointments a week and now you are, I forgot what you said earlier, but like
6 a day.
20 or 30 appointments a week, right? Basically like 3-4 appointments a day type. So how do you build that up?
It all comes down to psychology, to be honest, Alicia. If you don't feel worthy, you will act what you think of yourself. And for the longest time, my challenge was I didn't believe that I deserved to make $100,000 because my job was, I was making 18,000, not even 18,000 a year, we just kind of fell into the trap of living status quo, just barely surviving. But then when I was given a vision of WSB to change my life, that changed everything. It's like you can do something greater, and I had to change my mentality about how I viewed myself as a person, and learn my identity. Understand your authority. Like, you were given the authority to reign in this world, to control the world. Why not learn to walk in your authority, which is you can change your life with a snapshot of a change of a mindset. So the biggest miracle, it's right in our workshops. It's like the biggest miracle of all is the way you view yourself, what you think of yourself, right? And I had to really work on that, change that, grow myself, and believe that I deserve something bigger. And as soon as I started seeing that, everything changed. And then when I realized, what am I doing here, and actually submit to the system, that was a crucial thing. Stop questioning the system and just work the system, going out there, doing home BPMs, presentations, showing up, going to events. That changed everything. And believing that I deserve better and bigger, and giving people that opportunity to do the same, right? So the biggest thing of all, when I first moved to Alberta in 2013, right after we got married, JP told us, like, oh yeah, you got a couple of team members in Alberta. Nobody speaks Low German there in our community. Why don't you go out there and build a business? We moved across the country, just packed herself up, just me and my husband, 12 hours away from family. And we knew 2 people there, which is my dad's second cousin and his wife. That's all we knew. So we started with the home BPM. He had 56 people there. And then it's like, oh, we started doing follow-ups with those. We started going after that and share lists. It's like one home BPM led to another. If we sat with elderly couple, bring your kids home. If we sat with young people, bring your siblings and your parents home. Like, it was like at least one thing to another. And mostly just believe in yourself that if you're choosing to come here and build, then go actually work the business.
So when you started, it sounds like I'm assuming the first home BPM you have is probably just a handful of people, right? And you probably don't get result right away, right? And so, walk us through that, because that's where most people give up. Is that right? And what are the things you did to improve on your results and to continue to invite or whatever? Because a lot of people feel like, well, I keep inviting, but they don't show up, or they cancel and whatnot. And it sounds like you went through 2, but there is a hurdle you have to go through. You have to keep getting those no's, keep getting those, no result, and for you to get to next level. So can you talk about what are some of the things you had to go through and also change through that learning process?
I changed from making it about me and making it about them. So in other words, that if you're going to go out there, I find that, and just say, me, give me referrals, you might get a handful, but people are scared. But if you actually get into their environment and you say, hey, call your kids home. I'm here for you. How can I serve you? What can you come here and learn? This is for your benefit. Every family should have one educated person out there that is properly licensed and educated in their family. You guys deserve to win. And I show up, I make it about them, and they bring people home. Then it's like, okay, let's get to a bigger event. Now, all of you guys all invite 1 or 2 people. So it's not about me. And yes, I did a lot of going to restaurants, going to gas stations, and making contacts and prospects and building relationships. I did a lot of that. I wasn't afraid to talk to anybody and everybody when we first started. It's tough, but it starts with just say hi. Like, just open your mouth. You won't be able to invite anybody if you just don't start. So it's about that willingness to adapt and just have an open mind to share with everybody and anybody that crosses your path. And then inviting them.
You start with some you start with your warm market, but you also just go out to pure cold market. Wherever you go, you are sharing, you're prospecting. I mean, probably you don't get result right away from that, but have you gotten some results from those cold market through over the years now?
Absolutely. It's like going to the parks with your kids. Be friendly. If you want to have a friend, be friendly first. Right? It's actually it's a written law. Like, if you want to have a friend, be friendly first. So be a friend and show up. Let's make some play dates. Let's show up again. Like, connect, and maybe we can do a coffee. Are you interested in opportunity? What do you do? Do you like what you're doing? Do you want to come and see something different?
That's awesome. I mean, I love your sharing because you just defy all the stereotype, right? Small town and not business background, but yet if you show that you can do it by going out, starting from scratch, and building yourself first, then everything else will follow, right? Is Kat on here today? I know you're under Kat, and Kat always had great things to share about you. Kat Labossi, are you on? I know sometimes she have to attend to her husband